1 week after a chilling crime near downtown Fort Wayne, 2 of the 3 suspects are now facing formal charges. Good evening, I'm Mark Mellinger.
And I'm Heather Herron. Charles Benson is now facing charges for murder and unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon. Marcus Lindsay is facing a charge for assisting a criminal accused of murder.
Last Monday night, police say Benson got out of an SUV on Eby Avenue and gunned down John Holman. Holman was driving the minivan that you see there. According to court documents, the whole ordeal started because of a fight at Foster's Pub and a subsequent home break-in. Police are still looking for the driver of the SUV.
And like many of you watching right now, suspected shooter Charles Benson grew up here. He was once just a young kid in Fort Wayne.
Now the 25-year-old is accused in that brutal shooting, which was all caught on camera. In an exclusive 15 Finds Out investigation, Adam Widener has been digging deeper into what went wrong. He joins us tonight with a closer look at the man police say is behind this disturbing crime. Adam?
Shocking surveillance video from last week's shooting left many of you with questions. Like, how could someone do this? What makes someone fire off dozens of rounds at point-blank range to kill? Many of us at News Channel 15 have been left with the same questions, which is why 15 Finds Out is taking a closer look at what went wrong. Our story of the man accused of this violent killing begins at the Allen County Public Library. After combing through dozens of old yearbooks, 15 Finds Out found the boy before the accusations. Here's Charles Benson in 1st grade, 6th grade, and as a freshman at a local high school. Forensic psychologist Dr. Stephen Ross says a decision to fire off dozens of rounds at someone doesn't happen overnight. While Dr. Ross says the criminal is always the one responsible for his or her actions, much of the time these sort of decisions are made after years of a tough family life, abuse, and gang affiliation.
I think it was accumulation of things that had happened to him and things that he did, more likely, and decisions he made. Your mind stops thinking, your muscles take over, and you just shoot. And you get so worked up, your heart rate is, and you're breathing so quickly that the gun is really doing the thinking for you. And many times you stop shooting when you've run out of ammo, and then you run.
A record of crime began when Benson was only 19, charged with an eerily similar offense in 2008. According to court documents, he went into the front seat of a car and shot the driver point blank in the legs as the victim tried to get away. In a plea deal, Benson eventually pleaded guilty to battery for that crime and spent some time behind bars.
They're afraid to change and do what's right.
15 Finds Out spoke with a man who says he's close with the Benson family. He didn't want us to use his face or name, but says when Charles Benson recently got out of jail, it left a negative impression. The man says much of the time criminals get back into the same crowd that led them down the wrong path in the first place, and says the incident should be a wake-up call for the community to help create more school pictures and fewer mugshots.
They just have to be more down to earth in what they're thinking, because this isn't TV. And this young man, I have no idea what he had on his mind, but, you know, we need to get with these young kids.
The Deputy Chief of Investigations first told us last week the Eby Avenue shooting has ties to gang activity. And even though homicides are down this year, Mark and Heather, stats from the Fort Wayne Police Department show that we've had more shootings so far this year than we did at this point last year.